That's Nick.
And that's Joseph, and today we're here to talk about Primal, one of the many new Nicolas Cage films opening November 8th, courtesy of Lionsgate.
So I liked this movie more than you did.
I kept thinking Primal is Keinmal, doing that, that German phrase / song, Einmal is Keinmal.
I'll have to look it up.
Anyway, I think that you'd be, my opinion is you'd be better served to just watch the preview over and over again for an hour and 40 minutes and you'd be more entertained. I thought it was kind of a slog to get through, especially the middle of the film, but...
The trailer did excite me.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Cage is...
doing
energetic and
the Cage rage.
Yeah, and I think he looks good.
Cage rage is light.
Well, yeah, he just seems energetic and vibrant, and he has like a fight scene.
Yes.
Yeah. So I thought that was exciting.
He shouts at animals. I like that.
Anyway, he plays an exotic animal,
hunter. Well, he's
not a hunter.
He deals in exotic animals.
He's an exotic animal dealer. Mm-hmm. That was the word I was thinking. And he captures, among other animals, a white jaguar, which apparently is 1 in a million.
Yes. The zoo, is it the San Diego Zoo? The San Diego Zoo acquisitioned him to get a black jaguar, and he found a white one.
So he's going to sell it for $1 million.
The locals, the Brazilian locals, I believe, call it the ghost cat, which would have been a much better title for this film than Primal.
Yeah.
Ghost cat, white devil. That was another.
So
big cat on a white boat or.
Now I'm thinking of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
You could have done a good play on that, yeah.
So Nick Cage's character is transporting these animals back via cargo ship, mm-hmm. and while he's loading his animals onto the boat, some U.S. Marshals show up to secretly transport
a political assassin.
Yes, played by Kevin Durand.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Famke Janssen's face for the first time. Which is alarming.
It is a lot. I feel bad, and I know not to comment on aging women's faces and what they do to them and how unfair that is, but fuck, can we just age naturally? Jesus, it's distracting.
Well, I don't know what she should look like, but it appears that she has nice bone structure, so
she does.
I think she could just let it ride, and mm-hmm. she'd probably look much better. And her eyebrow game's
been off for a while.
It's been off since I only know her from X-Men, but they were off there. They're really off here. Whoever did her makeup and her wig is terrible.
There are points where from the side, and because she's so puffy, I'm like, she looks like white Michelle Williams.
I don't know her. I just know black Michelle Williams.
Okay.
But
Sure, Jan. Okay.
So they all load onto the boat with this political assassin, and he manages to escape his cage.
Of course, because he is prone to seizures. That's why Famke Janssen is Dr. Ellen Taylor, and she's there to monitor in case he seizes, because he is so important that he be brought back to U.S. soil alive, so he can be tried for his crimes. So it's imperative that he lives,
But he uses that, the knowledge of, or he understands that he can have a seizure and, get people into his cage and then,
escape the boat. And then he releases all the wild animals because Nick Cage has more than just the white jaguar.
So it's basically like a cat and mouse thing for the bulk of the film.
Yes.
On this ship, trying to find, what's Kevin Durand's name in the movie?
Richard Loeffler.
Richard. So yes, so trying to...
Dick Loeffler's loose.
Dick Loeffler's loose. So is the white jaguar.
Yeah, because he lets it go.
So obviously the U.S. Marshals and the NSA people are preoccupied with finding Dick Loeffler, and Nick Cage's character, whose name is...
Frank Walsh.
Frank is preoccupied with finding his white cat.
Yeah.
So, you thought it was tedious.
Well, and it's kind of an Aliens ripoff, which... There's somebody named Vasquez in the film.
Sure,
but
you picked up on that. it does feel generic.
Although the screenplay, Richard Leder wrote the screenplay, and it's very generic. But there were only a couple times where I was like, at the dialogue. So there's that.
I will say, I think that the person who made this film made the most use of all of the resources they had.
Sure.
Is how it seems. So for that, I would say that, like, job well done. So I think who made the movie?
So it was directed by Nicolas Powell, who is a stuntman. He got a lot of attention for his choreography on the original Bourne Identity.
Okay.
But you've seen, this is his sophomore.
Oh, what did I see of the first one?
Outcast, 2014, starring Nicolas Cage and Hayden Christensen, and a period piece in China. Do you remember that film?
That sounds vaguely familiar.
It was also TV.
Well, so Nick likes him. Nick likes Nick. So, I will say Mr. Powell.
Yeah, Nick.
That's his name?
Nick and Nick, yep. Mm-hmm.
Nicholas Powell. I do think that he did a good job, because I'm sure the budget wasn't through the roof. I think the movie looks good. The production quality is good. I mean, they're in Puerto Rico filming what's supposed to be, I think, the Amazon. Mm-hmm. I think that looks good. They have shots like where we see the ship. There's some aerial shots. I think the sets that are intended to be inside the ship, whether it is the ship or just a set, I think those look good. This is not like a big budget, action, suspense movie.
No. And the White Jaguar is...
And the CGI for the White Cat is not at the level of, like, The Lion King.
Or even, John Frankenheimer's Island of Dr. Moreau.
Sure.
Oh, Maling.
Maling. Oh, Maling. But I think for what it is, and I think the director had an awareness of what he was working with.
Sure.
I think it was well done, and, like, the people in it are well utilized. I don't think anyone's hiring Famke Janssen to be, like, a serious dramatic act. I mean, I think it's a little bit campy, and I think they're all in on the joke. Yeah. Kevin Durand does a really good job of playing a creep, but he's not at the level of, like, an Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs.
But he's always a heavy. Unfortunately, in my mind, I always go back to him, like, killing Michael B. Jordan in Fruitvale.
Sure. But I think when you put it all together, the director did a good job of, like, the resources. This film feels like with the resources they had, they did a really good job. But anyway,
Nicolas Cage has a couple really good lines. Like, my favorite was, "I know how a fucking faucet works, you federal clown."
Yeah, he has the moments that made me chuckle, and I was engaged enough. But anyway, I would give this film 2.5 out of 5 stars.
I think I'm being generous with a 2, but that's where we're at. Compared to the other 3 Nicolas Cage films I've seen this year already, yeah, it's palatable. Although Color Out of Space, which you haven't seen yet, which was at Toronto, where he has an obsession with alpacas, was kind of fun.
Okay.
But also a little tedious. But yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.